We have a new generation of young people. They're coming into the workforce, they're coming into the marketplace, and in their culture is the new culture of work. At their fingertips, they have better tools than exist in some of our most sophisticated corporations. And there's a real danger that companies will come out of this recession demographically sort of looking like Italy. Now don't be confused. You know, I love Italy, food, people, wine, culture, and so on. But the demographics of Italy, it's a country with a lot of old people and not a lot of young people. Japan's even worse, actually. They have old people and a restrictive immigration policy. So you don't want to emerge from the recession with a company of old people because you're in deep trouble. You'll be unable to make the big changes to your business model and strategy enabled by the internet that young people are energizing within our corporations. Young people are in the workforce, they're bright-eyed, they're bushy-tailed. What do? We stick them in a cubicle, supervise them, treat them like Dilbert, and rather than embracing their tools like social networks and blogs and wikis and jams and so on, we ban them. We do the opposite of what we should do. And banning Facebook is a totally dysfunctional thing to do. Now, if employees are wasting their time on Facebook, that's an opportunity to talk about real issues. One youngster for my book, Grown Up Digital, I asked him, 27 years old, works for a U.S. federal agency, what was the effect of banning Facebook? And he said it was the single most demoralizing thing that management has ever done. It said, we don't understand your tools, we don't understand you, we don't get collaboration, and we don't trust you. So take a page from Best Buy. The CEO there, Brad Anderson, says, my job is not just to make decisions, it's to create the conditions whereby people can self-organize to create value. And he says the most important people in this company are the blue shirts, the young people who work in the stores, tens of thousands of them. They're closest to our customer, most like our customer, and in their culture is the 21st century Best Buy. And between them and me are layers and layers of management trying to prevent them from changing the company. So he says, my job is to give them a license to self-organize. So to your point, they self-organize. There's 25,000 of them who've created a social network called Blue Shirt Nation. They feel engaged. They collaborate. They talk about things. They share problems. But rather than a sort of command and control hierarchy, they have a networked organization where people use these powerful new tools for collaboration to have a sense of ownership in the company. And that's even more important in tough times like this. The financial services industry needs a lot more than a fresh infusion of capital and some new regulation. It needs a whole new modus operandi where integrity is baked into the DNA of the industry. You know, principles like interdependence and emergence and transparency and self-organization. I mean, these are the new design principles for our 21st century institutions. So if you look at the challenges facing any individual business or government or whatever, in this much broader context, you're not going to just slash and burn, as we have done in traditional recessions. You're going to stand back, think strategically, and think about where does our business need to go to compete and to be successful in this new environment. I think it's causing us to think very differently about everything, like marketing. I don't think you should focus on your customers. You should engage them and co-innovate with them. You shouldn't build products or services. You should create customer experiences. You shouldn't try and build your brand as an image, a word in the mind, a promise, a badge. That's not what the brand is anymore. The brand is becoming a complex construct where integrity is at the foundation of it, and a relationship is more important than an image. You know, the 4 Ps of marketing, product, place, price, and promotion, these are all completely inadequate to understand how to compete in this new environment. I have a modest proposal that we need to rethink risk management. and we need to apply the principles of Wikinomics, my book, to risk. Number one is we should be sharing intellectual property. Risk models, algorithms, and data should be placed in the commons. We should have a human genome of risk management, or a Linux of risk management. Oh, we would never do that. Our risk models are a source of proprietary competitive advantage, people say to me. Well, hello, did anyone notice they not only didn't confer competitive advantage, collectively they led to the downfall of the entire industry and created a massive global crisis. So the idea is that you share some of your intellectual property and a rising tide lifts all boats. And then you compete on a higher level. Sharing. We need to have transparency based into risk management. We need to have peering. The financial services industry and its leaders should get together and act as peers. Rather than being the recipients or victims of government legislation, they had to grab the bull by the horns, reinvent their industry around these principles, transform risk management, and do the right thing. Present a new modus operandi, a new operating model for risk and for financial services.